Having his 8th ride in the race today, 33-year-old John, and what a bitter, desperate disappointment for him. The most sensational occurrence during the long history of the world's most famous steeplechase. And inquests now. Richard Pitman talking to Keith Brown there. And what will conceivably be the next development. On the other, Hans rider Neil Doughty, who won it in 1984, and John White being comforted there. And Mark Pitman talking to Bruff Scott. Mark, whose stable companion Echeniers won the race that never was. Richard Dunwoodie's in an overcoat now. He had the tape wrapped around him for a long time after the second false start when the others went off. No doubt they went off because there were people on the course and they could not believe that they were not those who were interfering with the race and not racecourse officials. Here's Richard Pitman.
We're here down at the ground, the starting heat. The opinion is, surely, that they didn't obey your recall the second time.
That is correct.
And so what does that imply?
It implies that the ones that did obey the recall flag should be allowed to start again.
So nine could start again?
I think it was 9, yes. I'm waiting for stewards to check that.
And anyone who went to circuit or fell or are ineligible to restart if that happens?
Under the rules of racing.
See you in the court.
Under the rules of racing at the moment, yes.
Thank you very much indeed, Keith Brown.
I'll see you in the court. I never heard anything so stupid in my life. Charles Barnett.
Well, the 9 that did not, in fact, start were Roch de Prince, Tarkogen's Best, Nosna Guiha, Formula One, and 22-year-old Judy Davis. Won't be gone long. He didn't have much chance to start because Richard still had the tape wrapped around him. Leighton Talent was another. Chatham, who didn't want to start particularly. Royal Speedmaster and Kildimo. And this is what happened. This is the second false start, and you can see Richard Dunwoodie with the tape wrapped around him there. He's the rider who won't be gone long. The starter still has his hand up, but he's failed to arrest the momentum of those who went ahead. The most comparable situation I can remember was back in the 50s when, after a lot of restlessness at the start, this is old Bonanza Boy wondering what it's all about, there was a headlong dash for the first fence, and as a result there were an unprecedented number of fallers. It's Leighton Talent. So there will be a steward's inquiry into what should take place now. Tragic that valiant effort by those who could not believe that it wasn't a race should have expended all that energy to no point. The starter being booed by the restive crowd as he goes to look at a recording of what actually took place, accompanied there by Roger Farrant, one of the assistants. There's Ginger McCain with Shaw Metal's rider, Shaw Metal, who led them, Seamus O'Neill, for such a long way in the race that wasn't. Ginger, I knew Need scarcely tell you, won it in 73, 74 and 77 with Red Rum himself. There is the devastated water jump. And Keith Brown has gone to look at the recording of the start in the head-on stewards box. The stewards who, with the stipendiaries, look down the course towards the chair where officials vainly sought to encourage the riders to run round it so that they pulled up, and an announcement to say the stewards are holding an inquiry to determine what action should be taken now, and what an unenviable job they have.
Well, of course, it's been an absolute shambles, and we wait to see what happens. But here's one of the unfortunate jockeys, Charlie Swan, who rode Cajavilahau into second place in the national that wasn't. Now, tell the story from your point of view.
Well, there was already a false start. When he let us go the second time, the tape got stuck a bit, but in Ireland, when we raced, there's always a white flag man to say if there's a false start, he'd wave it, but there was no flag waving, so we all thought the race was on. Going to the chair, we thought maybe one of the people that was
waving a flag.
Yeah, we thought it was people that maybe were trying to stop the national because of the cruelty side of it.
You didn't think it was an official coming out?
Official, no. We thought it was. We just had to jump the left side of the fence.
Yeah.
And we've gone on then, and like it's just a shame. Like I think I don't think any of the jockeys are to blame.
Of course not, but no. Did the jockeys talk to each other going round that circuit? Did you?
It was very hard to hear anything. The wind was very strong, and the crowd is they're shouting the whole time. You don't know what's going on.
Right.
We were just
didn't you see other jockeys that hadn't started, though? Didn't you see other horses waiting at the start?
No.
When you came round, you didn't spot that?
No.
Well, it was a disaster, really. I mean, of course, the problem is when the starter raises the red flag, he raises it behind you, doesn't he?
I know, yeah.
When's the next indication that you know that anything's wrong if you set off?
Yeah, well,
you found out the first time, didn't you?
Yeah, well, I know in Ireland they have a white flag man about 100 yards up the track.
Yeah.
And if there is a false start, they start waving it in front of you.
Yeah.
And you have to pull up, but there was nothing there.
Right.
So you know the jockeys aren't to blame.
Well, it's very bad luck.
You win second.
Now we've got Marcus Armitage, who's arrived here, who won the national once on Mr. Frisk. Come round this way so we can see you, Marcus. Tell us from your point of view.
I jumped one fence, Des.
You jumped one fence?
Yeah. Actually, my horse got the tape tangled around his feet.
First time?
Second time. And Richard Dunwoody on my outside had the tape tangled around his neck, so he was looking a bit uncomfortable on the outside.
So he couldn't possibly continue.
No, and